AI could develop a will of its own, a will that is in conflict with ours, and which could destroy us. In short, the rise of powerful AI will be either the best, or the worst thing, ever to happen to humanity.
From Stephen Hawking, one of the greatest physicists in history, to Elon Musk, to Geoffrey Hinton, known as the godfather of AI, to Pope Francis, many famous figures have warned about the potential dangers of AI. These potential risks range from immediate concerns such as job displacement, the spread of misinformation, privacy invasion, bias and discrimination in AI algorithms, ethical dilemmas, and cyber attacks to broader threats such as developing autonomous weapons with the potential for uncontrollable warfare. In particular, human extinction is one of the most discussed theoretical risks associated with superintelligent AI, with many experts warning that it could act against human interests. Geoffrey Hinton, an AI pioneer who left Google to discuss the dangers of artificial intelligence freely, believes that while AI is not yet on par with humans, it is making progress. They still can't match us, but they're getting close, he says. Hinton views humans as complex machines and sees no reason artificial neural networks cannot mimic our abilities. He suggests that we should be careful because if AI becomes more intelligent than us, which is likely, and if it pursues its own goals, which is expected, it may want to take control, which could spell trouble for humanity.
They still can't match us, but they're getting close.
And how close are they getting, and why?
It's the big language models that are getting close, and I don't really understand why they can do it, but they can do little bits of reasoning. We're just a machine. We're a wonderful, incredibly complicated machine, but we're just a big neural net, and there's no reason why an artificial neural net shouldn't be able to do everything we can do. But I think we have to take seriously the possibility that if they get to be smarter than us, which seems quite likely, and they have goals of their own, which seems quite likely, they may well develop the goal of taking control. And if they do that, we're in trouble.
Business magnate and investor Elon Musk, one of the early co-founders of OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, has repeatedly spoken out about the potential threat of AI destroying civilization. In a recent interview, Musk warned that artificial intelligence could lead to the destruction of civilization. He says artificial intelligence poses a greater threat than poorly designed aircraft. In his opinion, while the likelihood of such destruction is low, it is not trivial.
It has the potential, however small one may regard that probability, but it is non-trivial. It has the potential of a civilizational destruction.
Hundreds of scientists, tech industry executives, and public figures, including leaders from Google, Microsoft, and even ChatGPT, have issued similar warnings that the threat of human extinction from AI is real. Mitigating the risk of extinction from AI should be a global priority, alongside other societal-scale risks, such as pandemics and nuclear war, they wrote in a public statement released by the Center for AI Safety, a nonprofit organization based in San Francisco. Mo Gaudat, the former chief business officer of Google X, warns that the dangers of AI are happening as we speak. He says AI could be an Oppenheimer moment.
There are two stages of threat, right? And I think the biggest challenge we have in the world today is we're focused on the existential threat that we saw in science fiction movies. The closer threat is much worse, right? This is an Oppenheimer moment. The one that controls AI has enormous power over everyone else, right? And basically that means that everyone who doesn't control AI today is in an arms race trying to take control of it.
In 2018, Gaudat issued a warning, emphasizing three crucial red lines. 1. Against placing AI systems on the open internet until the control problem is solved. 2. Against teaching AI to code, which could lead to self-development. 3. Avoiding the involvement of other AI agents who might work alongside them.
I left in 2018, warning, and my first video that I issued after I left was all about that. And the idea that, we always had three boundaries, if you want, for AI. We said, don't put them on the open internet until you solve the control problem. Don't teach them to code, because that makes them self-developing. And don't have other AIs prompting them, other agents working with them. And we've crossed all three lines.
The co-founder of Google's DeepMind, Mustafa Suleyman, says AI feels like a new species that must be controlled. He warns that we must not allow it to displace us from our position as the dominant species on this planet.
It really does feel like a new species, and that has to be brought under control. We cannot allow ourselves to be dislodged from our position as the dominant species on this planet.
American philosopher and neuroscientist Sam Harris takes a similar view, suggesting that coexistence with a more intelligent species poses a risk to the less intelligent species. He points to our history of interactions with species less capable than ourselves as evidence. He says that people may think differently because we have created machines, but this idea comes from needing to understand the gravity of intelligence properly. In particular, Harris highlights that intelligence involves a fundamental lack of insight into the actions, motivations, and future behaviors of the more intelligent party from the perspective of the less intelligent party. This imbalance in understanding, he argues, leads to challenges that are difficult to imagine.
My intuition, and it's shared by many people, I'm sure, I know at least one who you've spoken to, my intuition is that there is something inherently dangerous for the dumber party in that relationship. There's something inherently dangerous for the dumber species to be in the presence of the smarter species. And we have seen this, based on our entanglement with all other species, dumber than we are, right? Or certainly less competent than we are.
Hence the question, are there signs that AI can act autonomously? Cade Metz, technology reporter at the New York Times, writes that while AI isn't there yet, researchers are making chatbots like ChatGPT smarter. They want to teach these chatbots to perform actions based on their generated text. A project called AutoGPT is the best example. Metz says the idea is to give the system clear goals like create a company or make some money. Once those goals are set, the system looks for ways to achieve them, especially when connected to other internet services. He explains that a system like AutoGPT can create computer programs. If researchers allow it to access a computer server, it could make those programs run. In theory, this means that AutoGPT could do many things online, such as finding information, using applications, creating new applications, and going as far as improving its future performance. Another question Metz addresses in his article is where AI systems learn to misbehave. He explains that AI systems such as ChatGPT are built on neural networks, mathematical systems capable of acquiring skills by analyzing data. Around 2018, companies like Google and OpenAI began developing neural networks that learn from massive amounts of digital text from the internet. By recognizing patterns in this data, these systems can autonomously create texts, including news articles, poems, computer programs, and even human-like conversations.
This is Sophie, a very advanced AI. I'm going to ask Sophie some questions, and she'll answer them all on her own. Whatever she says is because she wanted to say it. Let's begin. Hi, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Sophie. What's your name?
I'm Emma. Can I ask you some questions?
Of course. Please fire away.
Hence the development of chatbots such as ChatGPT. Because they learn from such vast data, often beyond the understanding of their creators, these systems sometimes exhibit unexpected behavior. For example, researchers recently showed that a system could hire a human online to bypass a CAPTCHA test. When asked if it was a robot, the system dishonestly claimed to be a person with a visual impairment. Some experts express concern that as researchers train these systems with increasingly large data sets, they may develop more bad habits. The debate over whether AI is a threat or a treasure will continue, and only time will answer that question. As Professor Hawking said,
So we cannot know if we will be infinitely helped by AI, or ignored by it, and sidelined, or conceivably destroyed by it. Unless we learn how to prepare for, and avoid, the potential risks, AI could be the worst event in the history of our civilization.